Travis Hunter is the 2024 Heisman winner. Are you kidding me, man? It doesn't even feel real to say yet. It just happened. We are coming off with our live reaction. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Dean Frank. I'm here with my co-host, Oscar Gonzalez-Moore, and this is Buffs Banter. We've been covering this Colorado football team all season long, coming down to the wire. Still got a bowl game to go. We are not finished yet, but it just happened just this afternoon. Travis Hunter, man, Heisman winner. Oscar, what are your initial thoughts, man?
Yeah, it's so weird, you know what I mean? Because, well, not weird, but awesome. It's just finals time, so everybody's locked in, you know what I mean? It feels like this would be a time where we'd be going to the bars, celebrating, like Boulder should be lit up, but it's honestly been pretty quiet. I was walking around campus and like not a lot of people are out. If they are, they're like in the library. Pearl Street is also a little quieter where most of our bars are, but I mean, he deserved it from day one. I'm mad we didn't put money on it. You know what I mean? Like, I guess if we were betting men, that would have been a very smart and obvious bet. But man, it has just been so cool to cover the entire journey. Travis is one of one, and he deserved it. He deserved it. He is a dog.
Most definitely. And I think it's really just, it doesn't feel real because
Yeah,
it's going to
100%.
be more of a thing where like you look back on it 20 years from now and it's like, man, we just lived through, we just watched a Heisman season. Like, how rare is that? This is the second time a Colorado Buffalo player has came out with the Heisman Trophy. And, it's like walking, like when I interned with the team, it's like you walk through those halls where they have all these different trophies and, accomplishments from past players. And it's like, Travis is literally about to bring home like 5 different trophies and awards, and it's pretty crazy. I know it's been a minute since we've talked on the pod because obviously it's been a couple bye weeks and whatnot. But for y'all that maybe missed it, Travis Hunter won the Defensive Player of the Year, all of college football, and additionally he won the best wide receiver of the year. So at the end of the day,
And the AP Player of the Year too, and the Heisman.
I mean, he won it all.
The list goes on.
Yeah, the list goes on, all the accolades, and it's just like we just watched this happen, and he's a generational player. And I think my biggest thing, which I kind of want to talk about, is just like, why does him and Shadur still have haters? Like, why are there still people in our comments being like, oh, he didn't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, did you really want bro to play 3 positions? I'm not even joking because he is, I'm just like, we said this whole time, oh, he's a top 10 player both sides of the field. He literally won best wide receiver of the year, best defensive player of the year. And sure, I looked at it. There are some weird stats there where it's like, he didn't have the most yards, he didn't have the most touchdowns. I think you just look at it from more of like a holistic point of view. It's just like he is the best player out there, whether he was targeted or not, whether he was thrown to or not. I think that's kind of why they gave it to him. People might want to say, oh, popularity contest, sure. I just think you can't discredit the man. Like the amount of snaps he played and just like what he did on both sides of the field is just, I mean, it's never happened before. He's really going to come down as the best two-way player ever.
Yeah, I agree. And I really like what you said, like witnessing a Heisman season and covering it. Like, I mean, we do this part-time as a job, but like we're also full-time students. And to just like, this has been like such a cool passion project starting this when Boulder was not the best football team to where it is now. Like,
you could say that.
I can't wait to like, 5-10 years, look back at like all our videos and just like watch how we've evolved, how our takes have evolved, how the team has evolved as we were making these. And yeah, you said Travis was like the second Buffalo to win the award. And it's crazy too, because Boulder has been a bad football school. Colorado has been a bad football school for a long time. Like, it kind of reminds me of the USF Dons. They have 3 championships, and those championships was when Wilt Chamberlain played there, and that like University of San Francisco, where I'm from. You know what I mean? And they've been a very mediocre program since. So it's like, yeah, we are on the up, and we caught the wave just at the right time. We're covering it. You know what I mean? Like, it's been awesome. And yeah, I think you also have to take into account for being the best wide receiver and being the best cornerback that like he's also playing two positions. I know you said he didn't have the most touchdowns or maybe not the most yards, but like I guarantee you, if he was playing just one of those positions, he probably would have. And three positions, we're taking it easy. We're taking it easy on college football, bro. Like he can play, as far as I'm concerned, the kid can play as many positions as he wants, as many snaps as he wants. Like nothing is stopping him. But there's only one of him, you know what I mean? And we felt, I guess, Prime felt it was best to utilize him as cornerback and wide receiver. And I'm not mad about that. But hey, seriously, haters, if you want to see him play running back, quarterback, uh, punter, kick returner, whatever, the kid, Mr. Hunter, can do it.
He can
You're
do it.
Heisman.
You can do it all. Congrats to Travis, man. I think, we talk about it all the time. Like, kind of like we already mentioned, it's like we're going to look back at these videos when we're older and whatnot. First of all, what up, future Oscar? Hope all is doing well. How's
What up, future Dean?
But this is a pivotal moment, bro. I mean, from just a random Kansas State game. Sure, we'll watch that. But Travis Hunter winning the Heisman, our senior season, the year that like we were graduating and everything was happening. We got into a bowl game. It's just like this is legendary. We can't talk about Travis at all without talking about Shadur, who I think he ended up 8th with the Heisman, and I feel like honestly that was a snub. I think he should have been probably 5th. If not right on the leaderboard right after it. I mean, that's a whole story for another time, but like, I mean, he had better stats than Dylan Gabriel when it comes down to it. So it's kind of like Travis didn't have the stats, but he got it. And then it's like Shadur does have the stats, but he didn't. So I'm not gonna ask for too much. I'm not gonna be a delusional Bus fan, but obviously Shadur is up there for a reason, and Shadur gave Travis the pedestal to do it all, at least on the offensive side of things. So for him to be there, for Coach Prime to be there, just rewatching that whole reaction, it was like even Lil Wayne is just sitting there, like he's a part of the family. It's kind of random, but it's awesome. And then I know like the whole Buffs team is like out there in New York, ready for the after party, which is probably going down right now. So I think it's awesome to see the success that this team has had, and us being Buffs fans, and now lifelong Buffs fans, like this is something we're going to talk about forever. And like obviously Genty was a dog and he's going to be a generational guy too, but nobody does what Travis does. And it's the whole GOAT debate. It's LeBron versus MJ. It's never really going to end, but he just ended it. He won the trophy. It's like, what are they going to say now?
Yeah, totally. One thing, I love the future thing. And I just wanted to say, quick side note, hopefully future Dean, I'm not benching more than you still. But yeah,
hold on.
nah, I mean, it's been crazy. And talk about trusting the process, right? I don't know if you saw Shador's recent Instagram post, but he just like posted something for Travis winning the Heisman, and the DMs, he posted a DM that goes back to 2020, and it's like he's DMing Travis, like trying to recruit him. He's like, hey, we're trying to do something that's never been done before. They trusted the process. Travis had an offer out Florida State, you know what I mean? Shadur,
Yeah.
I'm sure, had a handful of offers as well, but instead they decided to go and play at Jackson State for a year and then come to Colorado, which is another unproven football program, for 2 years, and have just completely flipped this program, the energy, everything on its head, which has just been awesome. And yeah, I agree with you. Sorry, I'm kind of going back and forth here, but
It's fine.
Dylan Gabriel,
Reminiscing.
yeah, no, it's been a lot. It's a very emotional journey for sure. But Dylan Gabriel, yeah, I don't know. The Oregon team is just disgusting. The Ducks are a very good football team. I do got to give props where props are due though. Yeah, it's tough to have two Heisman candidates from the same team. I think, even though Shador did have the stats, so I get that. But Scattaboo, Arizona, whatever, plays literally like any position. I think he is officially a running back, but has the most yards or receptions for Arizona State too. Just crazy. I think what he's done recently, he should have been a finalist over Gabriel as well. But yeah, and we can't discredit Genty. He had a phenomenal season too. Like if Travis hadn't had the season he would have probably walked away with it. He's a hell of a ball player. Wherever he goes, he's going to make a big impact. So yeah, I mean, it was a great year of college football, and I honestly think up until this point, and this could be biased, but let me know what you think about this, Dean. College football has been more entertaining than the NFL. Like, I am honestly, I used to be, I still am, but I was never a big college football guy before coming to CU. And I was a huge 49ers fan. And I still am. And maybe it's because the 49ers are kind of falling apart this year, but it just feels like college football has been off the charts entertaining with storylines, players. There's just so much talent right now. And it just is like the place to be, especially with like the Belichick news. There's just so much drama. It's awesome. And yeah, I think college football has been such a pleasure to watch this year.
No, you're not wrong. I think we're just in such like a dynamic, fun, like creative, innovative time for just the whole world and just for college
NIL too. Yeah, there you go.
NIL, dude. It's just like, I mean, it's a 12-man playoff. So we had no clue what was going to
Right.
happen until about last week. The bracket was finally announced. We definitely got to, make some future predictions on that. And you got to fill out your bracket because we got to run that like it's March Madness because, yeah, it's exciting. And no, I do want to say, yes, college football is more entertaining. One, the Niners suck this year. That's why you're saying that. And two, your fantasy football team sucks. So both of those things are gonna, pivot you to not like NFL as much. I'm just saying. But
I could be I could be winning that league right now. You know what I mean? You don't know how many dog fights, dog battles I've been in, man, where I have just got screwed by picking players on my team. You know what I mean? Like Brandon Ayuk, that was a big pick for me. Travis Kelce. It doesn't matter. We are not talking about this right now. Please
suck. Hopefully, future Dean, you won that fantasy league. But anyways, one quick thing I wanted to think about too before we wrap up is just like, if we were in the college football playoffs, do you think they give Shadur? You think they put Shadur on that pedestal? Kind of the idea that like Gabriel might not have those stats, but Oregon is number one in the country and undefeated. It's like you gotta give credit where credit's due as from a winning standpoint.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting how they chose the teams that got into the college football playoffs. There's some controversy about that. Maybe we can make another podcast about that before they officially get started. But it's interesting as well how they defined the finalists for the Heisman as well, because I do think winning is a big part of that. And quarterbacks typically win this award, as we know. And Cam Ward was debatably the best quarterback this year. And Dylan Gabriel is the quarterback for the team that is the number one seed right now, also an undefeated team. So from that sense, you know what I mean? I guess it makes sense, but I really think, and sorry to answer your question. Yeah, I do think so. I think Shadur gets in there, or at least is, I think he does, honestly, unbiasedly, if we make the playoffs 100%, because Scotabo was 5, you know what I mean? And Shador is a better quarterback than Dylan Gabriel, so I think he overtakes him in that. But I also think Travis winning the Heisman Award is going to flip a lot of eyes when it comes to who wins the Heisman in the future, because the top 2 guys that were candidates for the Heisman weren't quarterbacks, you know what I mean? And this is typically, we think about this as a quarterback award, but this year is completely flipped. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward. I know like some people are even saying like Penei Sewell right now for Offensive Player of the Year, just the way he's been playing in the trenches, you know what I mean? Which is probably not going to happen. But that being said, like it's interesting. We got to start to think about some of these awards, not even just at a college football level, but at the pro level in a different way, because so many people are impacting the game in ways that don't even show up on the stat sheet, like Travis. You know what I mean?
I think it's a good thing for just sports in general, kind of moving away from the, more traditional outlooks, because that's just kind of how the world is today. Some people might not like it. Some people like it staying the same forever, but at some point you got to innovate with everyone else. So I think, Travis was most definitely the best player in college football. He would have been snubbed if he didn't get it. Like there is no award that, it's like the Heisman isn't even good enough for him at some point. He's playing both 2 different positions at the best of the best. So I think it's even funny. Honestly, it's like Travis Hunter just won the Heisman. second time anyone ever in Colorado football history. And it still feels like some sort of snub that Shadur wasn't standing up there with him because he could have been. So it's just funny to look back at. But yeah, I mean, both of these guys going into the draft, I mean, not soon, but we'll definitely be raving over that when it happens. I'm assuming 1 and 2, or at least both top 5. And, I think whatever teams they go to will grab a bunch of Colorado Buffalo fans because, man, what these guys have done is just inspirational. And, whatever Coach Prime ends up doing, I mean, he doesn't owe us anything. If he wants to leave, he'll leave. He's not gonna. I mean, I think he's good for another couple years with Juju and all that. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, for now, wrapping up the Heisman ceremony, man, generational. Travis Hunter is legendary. And I guess, yeah, before we close, we got a BYU game coming up on the 28th. So I know we've been a little quiet the past couple weeks, but we are back for a preview and a post-game reaction. So stay tuned for that. I mean, it's the first Buffs bowl game in about a decade. We got there for Peggy. Coach Prime did what he said he was going to do. So hopefully we get the win because I already put a lot of money on it. So hopefully that happens. And yeah, any closing thoughts, Oscar?
Yeah, sorry. We've been in Denver making big moves. So big moves, stays tuned. A lot of good stuff on the radar. But yeah, I agree with you. Just go Buffs. This is just the cherry on top for Prime, Travis, and the rest of the gang. You know what I mean? If anything, this is just going to enhance and increase recruiting, which is great. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see how I think there's like a couple two-way players we have on the team already. And I think like this is going to inspire a new generation to play the way like Travis Hunter.
Oh yeah, he is a trendsetter. What was it? He sets records, doesn't follow them, something like that. But anyways, it is a great time to be a Buffs fan. You want to finish off with that your reaction to that video that Marley posted?
You want me to just run it?
Yeah, run that and we'll end it like that.
Travis! This is for you! If we have Travis, we win!
Hey!
Let's go.